Hi everyone, my name is Federico Quintero and welcome to my docu-series where I interview entrepreneurs around me and learn about what they do, how they got to where they are today, and life lessons that they learned along the way. And I hope you learned as much as I did while interviewing these entrepreneurs, and I hope you enjoy. Hi Ryan, how are you?
Nice to meet you. I'm good.
Welcome to my internet docu-series where I interview cell phone entrepreneurs to educate kids my age about the life of a cell phone entrepreneur. So first of all, can you tell me a little bit about what you do?
So I own a Stanley steamer, and if you're not familiar with Stanley steamer, what we do is floor cleaning, upholstery cleaning, new floor sales, installation, air duct cleaning, water restoration, mold restoration, fire restoration.
And about how long have you been working in this field?
So it's going to be 25 years in October.
And how and why did you get into this specific field of work?
So what happened is right after school, right after I graduated, I had a friend that was working here, and he knew that I was going to look and time to start finding work. And he was already working at Stanley Steamer, and they had a management position open. Interviewed for the position and been there ever since.
And is your business working on floors, is it for like restoration or is it also like after like a disaster?
Both.
Okay.
Both. So water damage restoration, fire damage. So yes, we can do both. And we'll install new flooring, tear out your old flooring, and get you going.
And would you consider this to be your dream job or dream career?
No, this is not what I anticipated doing. I fell into this, learned a lot about the business, and stuck with it ever since.
And did you have to study to get into this specific field of work?
So not in school, not necessarily study it. I mean, I've learned a lot of the business aspect in school, accounting, things like that. But once I was working in the business is when I really learned about the business. So, it was more hands-on.
So you kind of learned with experience?
Exactly.
Mm. And about how old were you when you first started working in any work?
So my first time I really was working was actually under the table. I was probably 13 years old. My mom took me to the swap meet, and there's this guy that was selling bikes, and he needed help. He needed someone to help assemble the bikes that he was selling. So I would go there on the weekends and assemble bikes for him, and he'd pay me cash, like $40 a day, I think it was, on Saturday and Sunday. So that was my first official time I was working. My first official job, legitimately, I was at McDonald's when I was 16, when I was in high school. So. And
from that point to now, did you have any influences or role models in your life?
Sure. So I'm big in sports. I had coaches that were role models that you didn't realize they were role models until you got older and you start remembering things that you've learned from those coaches. So one coach in particular, my high school basketball coach, I look at as a role model. As when I was younger, when I was a kid, my dad was a role model. I wanted to be like my dad, just like most sons want to be like their dad. So, but yeah, for the most part, through high school until I started working, it was mainly, coaches. So I had a couple teachers that I looked up to that guided me. So that's pretty much it.
And would you mind telling me specifically what about your dad and your basketball coach specifically kind of inspired you or made you be like, wow? So
with my dad, so he was a respiratory therapist, so he would take me to the hospital every now and then, and he was important, and he was an important person, and I looked up to him, so I was like, oh, I want to be like that when I get older, when I grow up. Yeah, it's your dad, so, you just wanted to be like your dad. As far as my coach is concerned, he taught me a lot of life lessons, even as a teenager, that, it pertained to basketball, but it also pertained to life. Taught me how to be a man, how to act in front of other people, how to be humble, how to be respectful. So those are some of the things that stand out off the top of my head, thinking about my coaches that I looked up to.
Very important things to know as a child or a teenager.
Sure.
Would you mind telling me a little bit about what a typical workday looks like for you currently?
So typical work day for me. So every day's different, which is nice. That makes it interesting. But some of the things that I have to focus on. So I start early. I look at the financials every day. I look at the previous day's revenue. I look at things that where we can improve on, things that we did well. I'll meet with our staff, our management staff on different things. It could be anything that I see that we need to address, or I'll get their input on some things. So a lot of meetings. I'm in the office most of the time, but there'll be times too where I'll go out in the field and check out on our crews, check our crews to see the workmanship, just pop up on them, talk to customers, see how the customers are, what they think of the work that we're providing for them. So I do that every now and then. But for the most part, I'm in the office really looking at different ways to improve the business, looking at financials, different ideas, looking at the operation as a whole, how we can be better, always looking to be better, be efficient. So looking at overhead costs, things like that. So.
Would you mind telling me about your definition of success and looking at that definition, whether you think you are successful?
So my definition of success would be to be able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, and not have a worry about it. And obviously be financially stable. So I'm working towards that. I don't think I'm there yet. I mean, I'm close, but I'm not where I want to be. I can't just get up and go on vacation for a month and be okay. But I'd like to be able to do that. That's my definition of success.
And are there certain qualities of an entrepreneur that are needed to work towards that goal?
Sure. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, if you want to be successful in business, period, hard work obviously is number one. You got to work hard. I never met a successful entrepreneur that's lazy. But I think more importantly is whatever field you choose to be in as an entrepreneur, you have to know that field. You have to work in that field. You have to learn about that field. I've seen people that go into fields and just try to be an entrepreneur because it sounds cool or they think they can make money, but they don't know what they're doing. They don't know the field. They haven't worked in the field. So that's important. You have to be a good listener. You have to listen to if you have employees, you have to listen to your employees. You have to listen. If you have mentors, you have to listen to your mentors. People that have been successful already. It's good to have those people in your corner. So you have to be able to listen to those people. They could help you avoid unnecessary speed bumps and being successful as an entrepreneur. So I would say those are the key factors. And it's hard work. It's hard work. It's number one.
What is your favorite aspect or part of your field work?
I think the favorite aspect for me is being able to dictate how successful or unsuccessful my business can be. It's all on me. So I like that responsibility. That's important to me. Obviously, I get feedback from my partner or my staff, but ultimately it's on me. I have the final decision. So I think that's probably what I enjoy most.
So you kind of have all the responsibility of how successful your business is?
Yes, I feel that way. whether that's true or not, I feel that way.
What about some of the obstacles or challenges of your job?
There's always obstacles. There's always overhead costs, doing business in California, having as many employees as we have, dealing with different personalities. Those are obstacles, but that's part of the business. When you have employees, you have to be able to deal with different types of personalities. People may not have the same train of thought that you may have, but you have to be able to work together to a common goal. Those are some of the big obstacles. Doing business in California, it's tough. It's tough. The cost of living in California is high. The cost of running a business is high. But it's a challenge. I look at it as a challenge, and I'm not going anywhere. So we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it happen, and we're gonna do whatever we can to be successful.
And at times where you feel stress or anxiety, how do you manage to calm yourself down, like meditation or?
So for me, the big thing is I try to get to the gym every day after work. That's a stress relief for me. That's important. When I don't go to the gym, I know when I don't go to the gym, I can feel it. And some people think it's just for exercise and for physical health, which it is, but it's mental health is huge when exercising. So for me, that's probably number one, dealing with stress. I've gotten better communicating. So my partner, if I feel stressed, and I'll sit down and I'll bend his ear and just try to let it out with him. So I've gotten better with that as I've gotten older. Sometimes you hold it in and try to deal with it, and that's not good. So number one right now for me, though, would be definitely exercise.
Now, I think you can recall around 3 years ago when the COVID-19 pandemic happened. Was your business affected?
Yes, it was. Fortunately for us, we were able to stay open because we were considered an essential business. However, our sales definitely took a hit. Our revenue was down probably close to 30% for at least the three to 4 months following the shutdowns, which in turn, we lost some employees because we weren't able to give them enough hours for them to provide for them and their families. So we did lose employees during that time because we just weren't busy. We kept our core employees. We kept a good core of our employees, which was good. So we were able to still fight through. We were able to stay afloat. A lot of businesses closed during that time. Fortunately for us, we were able to maintain and fight through it, and keep, like I said, a good core of our employees. And it looked like it wasn't going to end for a while, but by the end of that year, things started getting back to normal. Businesses start open because a lot of our business is dependent on other businesses. We do a lot of commercial work. So in schools were all closed, universities were closed, and so that hurt us as well. So, but we made it through.
And in times like those, what motivated you to keep going?
Well, we had to keep going. We had 100 and something employees' livelihoods that were dependent on our business, including mine and my partners. So that was the main motivation. We want this financially. We need this business to continue and to be successful if we want to keep providing food for our family. So that was the number one motivation.
So would you kind of consider it to be a survival instinct?
Sure. I guess you could look at it that way. Sure. I mean, I don't think anybody who owns a business thought that something like that could happen, where all of a sudden your business can just be shut down in a blink of an eye. So you never, So it's definitely survival mode at that point.
Now, hardworking entrepreneurs, how would you find a balance between your personal life and your work?
It's a good question, because that was tough at first. And I think starting off as an entrepreneur, it's probably not going to be a very good balance. You're probably going to be working a lot more than you enjoying your personal life. That's just how it is. Being an entrepreneur, especially starting off, you're not going to work a regular 8-hour a day. You're going to have some long days going off, at least get it going, get it started. So, and that's still a challenge for me to this day, is finding that balance. I could find a reason to be at work all day. I could find a reason, but you got to get people in. You have to put people in positions to start taking over some of your responsibilities so you can enjoy your personal life. So I think finding that balance is, once you feel that your business is strong and you have a strong foundation, you could start getting other people to help you out running that business so you can enjoy your personal life. The wife and kids, they definitely didn't see me a whole lot at the beginning. I was at work late, in early, at home late. So, and it definitely can affect your personal life at first. So you do have to keep that in mind, especially if you have a family. So.
And how do you envision the future of your business?
Well, for our business, we're always looking to be innovative. So when Stanley Steamer first started, they were just doing cleaning, carpet, and upholstery. That's it. And that's probably what we're mostly known for. So we've done a good job of branching out and finding other streams of revenue, like the new flooring sales, flooring installation, air duct cleaning. I think air duct cleaning for us is something that we're looking forward to getting a bigger piece of the market in our area. So future-wise, we're focusing on that. We're still focusing on the new flooring. And there's a lot of potential for us to grow. So yeah, we're always just grinding, trying to grow and get new accounts. But I think air ducts is probably our number one priority right now, moving towards the future.
And now my final question to you is, what would you say to the 13-year-old you and other 13-year-olds currently?
Practice good habits. And when I say practice good habits is be responsible, be on time, be courteous. Those habits will follow you as an adult. Most importantly, as a 13-year-old, is be a kid. Enjoy your childhood. That's what I would tell myself as a 13-year-old. Enjoy your childhood. Time flies. I think as a kid, we're always looking to be older or want to do things as an adult and grow up fast. That time will come. And then when you're an adult, you're going to be like, man, I wish I was a kid and didn't have these responsibilities. Those responsibilities will come. So I think the biggest thing for a 13-year-old is enjoy being a child and enjoy your childhood. You don't get that back. And practice the good habits. And you'll be successful as an adult no matter what you want to do in life. So.
Well, thank you, Ryan, for coming here today.
Thank you
and teaching me about your floor restoration business. And I also personally felt connected to your gym example, because when I feel stressed, I usually like to go biking around my neighborhood and exercise. So thank you.
No problem. No problem. Well, it was good talking to you.
Thank you so much for watching my interview. And if you enjoyed what you watched, make sure to like and subscribe if you want more. Bye and see you next time.